and may you enjoy your day in this magical place called Disneyland.
As we travel along the Main Street station, we will be stopping by the Grand Canyon of Primeval World. On our journey, please remain seated, keeping all those hands arms seat length inside the train. Please keep an eye on your children, making sure they're seated away from all train openings and towards the center of the rows. Once we head into the tunnel here, please refrain from flash photography or video lighting of any kind. Once again, our next stop, Main Street, USA.
Which one?
And there's no rush though. She's like, Daddy?
To those who have just come aboard, welcome. The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design, the Grand Canyon. For your safety, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Watch your children and no flash photography.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado.
We're now returning to our own time and to Main Street Station. Gateway to
Welcome aboard the
Disneyland.
Disneyland Railroad on the holiday too. As we travel along to our next destination, please remain seated, keeping all those hands arms and feet length inside the train. Please keep an eye on your children, making sure they are seated away from train openings and towards the center of the
But
road.
trust me, it's a real jungle out there. Literally. So be on the lookout. You just never know what might be lurking along the rails. Just ahead is New Orleans Square Station. This station also serves Frontierland and Critter Country. If you'll be leaving us here, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Then watch your step as you're getting off. For those of you continuing on with us, we'll be resuming.
As a reminder, please remain seated until the train comes to
This
a
is
full
the
and
New Orleans
complete
Square
stop.
Station.
Welcome to New Orleans Square, your destination for Frontierland, Adventureland, Critter Country, and New Orleans. If you will be staying on board with us, please slide all the way to the ends of your rows, go in and all that available spots aboard the Disneyland Railroad on the holiday too. As we travel along the rivers of America to our next destination, please remain seated, keeping all those hands, arms, feet, legs inside the train. Please keep an eye on your children, making sure they are away from all train openings and seated towards the center of the rows. Our next stop, Toontown Depot.
To those just joining us, welcome aboard. The Disneyland Raiders are celebrating a zippity doo-dah day. Speaking of critters, this place we're passing over is home to a whole bunch of them. Here in Critter Country, you can join Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Brer Rabbit, and Brer Bear on their fun-filled adventures. As we steam past Hungry Bear Restaurant, the last outpost in these parts, we're now joining up with the rivers of America and entering the frontier as it looked more than a century and a half ago. This is my favorite part of the journey. Around every bend, there's natural beauty as far as the eye can see. There is the revered Indian shaman, sharing his stories with those in the great river valley below. People like you have been riding these rails since the 1800s, traveling through nature's wonderland in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by mule or stagecoach. Steam power not only fueled these iron horses, but the dreams of a whole new generation as it moved west into this great frontier. Of course, some of those dreams, and the stories that went with them, were pretty darn wild and downright unbelievable, like on Big Thunder Mountain, where I hear that mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining trains and turned them into the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Remain seated, folks. We're waiting for the train ahead of us to depart Toontown. That's our next stop. We'll be on our way shortly. Everyone needs to be sitting down at this time. That includes children, folks. We'll be on our way in just a moment.
I'm gonna go eat some more there too, like ice cream.
Once again, please have all children seated at this time.
So what side? A little Christmas tree. Go ahead, go with it. We're gonna look at it anyway. That's a little Christmas tree. No, gordo. Everybody's gonna see that, man.
There are two showings of the Main Street Electrical Parade tonight, 8:45 and 10:45. You can watch Fantasmic on the Rivers of America. That's at 9 o'clock and 10:30. And we have our fireworks spectacular. Remember, dreams come true. That will be at 9:30, weather permitting.
There's so many another train that goes past. You can pick one. Go up on pick all of them. We're gonna go from that one, you go to Tucson.
Waiting, folks. The train ahead of us has left Toontown. We're going to be on our way. Remain seated.
No, it's able to go on there. Yeah, it's very slow. Yeah, that's why it took my hand.
That one's fun.
Yeah, that one's cool. It drifts.
Oh, look at that.
You can never do it.
Oh, look at that.
Right, the tractor when it's
You can't get in the car except for the...
get on the tractor when it drifts. You know what it is?
signals our transition from the frontier to another kind of gear, the ones you'll find on Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Our next stop is Toontown Depot, official train station for Mickey's Toontown, a cartoon home where Mickey, Minnie, and all their friends live. Toontown Depot is also the gateway to Fantasyland, where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated characters and stories. If you're leaving us here, please wait until the train comes to a full stop. Remember your personal belongings, then step carefully from the train. Have fun, and say hi to Mickey and Minnie for me. Those of you continuing on with us, we'll be resuming our journey in just a moment. This is Toontown Depot, Mickey's Toontown.
As a reminder, if you are leaving us here in Toontown, please remain seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop. If you are staying on board, please slide to the ends of your rows, filling in all that available space. Welcome to Toontown, your gateway to Fantasyland, and of course, Toontown.
We're like right underneath. See how big it is?
For those of you just joining us, welcome aboard Disneyland Railroad on the Holiday 2. As we travel along to our next destination, please remain seated, keeping all those hands arms seated.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Disneyland Railroad. For a safe ride, remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Y bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all, Fantasyland. You can see people stepping onto It's a Small World just below us. And, off in the distance, majestic Matterhorn Mountain. We're now steaming forward into the future to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imaginative. Here you'll find rocket ships and star speeders, submarines and astroblasters, and, if you look overhead, maybe a glimpse of a Mark 7 monorail. This is the latest version of the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere, gliding above Disneyland since 1959. Below the monorail, and us, are the fun-filled roadways of the Autopia. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships or doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station right now. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astroblasters, and step carefully from the train. Thanks, and have fun in the future. For the rest of you, just sit tight. We'll be on our way again in just a minute.
As a reminder, if you are leaving us here in Tomorrowland, please remain seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop. For those of you staying on board, please slide all the way to the ends of your rows, filling in all that available space. Welcome to Tomorrowland. You're seeing all your things for tomorrow.
going to hold here for just a minute. We'll be on our way shortly to our next stop, Main Street.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad on the holiday too. As you travel along, please remain seated, keeping all those hands, arms, feet, legs inside the train. Please keep an eye on your children, making sure they are away from all train openings and towards the center of the road. We will be traveling through the Grand Canyon and Primeval World. As we do, please refrain from flash photography or video lighting of any kind. Our next stop, Main Street, USA.
I'm going to assume you guys all had a heavy lunch because that usually doesn't happen. Stop.
To those who have just come aboard, welcome. The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design. To those who have just come aboard, welcome. The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future.
Now arriving from a trip around Walt Disney Magic Kingdom. Passengers will stand by to board. Your attention, the Disneyland Railroad now for a complete trip around Walt Disney Magic Kingdom. Thanks for joining us,
Really quick.
the Disneyland Railroad. For your safety, please remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, legs inside the train. As parents, please supervise your children, keeping them away from the train opening. Our next stop will be Main Street Station, and on our way we'll be making a slight detour through the Grand Canyon and the primeval world. As we enter the tunnel, please turn off the flash on your camera. Thank you.
But now we do, so it's helpful. But now, like, people do, I've noticed, it's starting to last, like,
They say it like
To those who have just come aboard, welcome. The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own.
From a trip around Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom. Passengers will stand by to board.
Once again, let's scoot all the way down, making room for all those guests getting on board. Once again, scoot all the way down and make room for all those guests getting on board. Thank you.
The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future.
Again, folks, if you're just joining us here in line, the wait time for this station is approximately 45 minutes before boarding the train. There are 3 trains out today, arriving approximately every 10 minutes with a load and unload time of 2 minutes here at the station.
Passengers will stand by to board. Please supervise your children and make sure they are seated as well and away from all the big train openings. Next up is Main Street Station with a quick detour to the Grand Canyon and the primeval world. Inside the Magic Tunnel, folks, please, no flash photography or video lighting of any kind. Thank you.
traveling with smaller passengers, please be simple ways to train up to The next stop is Main Street, but before we get there, we'll take a tour of the Grand Canyon, then go back in time to the land of dinosaurs. No plans of coming here video lighting. Thank you.
Your attention, please. The Disneyland Limited now leaving for a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom.
Folks at the gate right here to the right.
Please come down this way to exit. Please keep walking straight. More exit to the right, please. More exit to the right. I know, nine.
Hello, folks. Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We're now embarking on a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom, with stops at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland, followed by a visit to the Grand Canyon and Primeval World. We got a lot of traveling ahead of us, so remember, for a safe trip, you need to stay seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please, watch your children.
Bienvenidos a bordo del Disneyland Railroad. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Uh-oh. Did you folks hear that? Sounds to me like we've reached the wilds of Adventureland, where you just might run into a lot of savage critters out there, including lions and tigers and tiki birds. Everybody best be on the lookout. You never know just what may show up. We're approaching our first stop, New Orleans Square Station. This station serves Frontierland, New Orleans Square, and Critter Country. If you'll be leaving us here, please remain seated till the train comes to a complete stop. Then watch your step while getting off. Have a good time in the Frontier, you hear? To those who just joined us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please, watch your kids.
Para su seguridad, Permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
We're now entering Splash Mountain, where every day is a zippity-doo-dah day. If you look real hard, you might just find your laughing place. We're now passing over Critter Country, where Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Brer Rabbit, and Brer Bear make their homes and embark on fun-filled adventures. Although this land was made for critters, human-type folks are always invited to stop in to visit a spell. We're traveling along the rivers of America and into the American frontier as it looked more than a century ago. This area is so rich with natural beauty and wildlife, you can see why the early settlers were inspired to move west. You're seeing this view just like many of them did, from the comfort of a genuine steam-powered train. When these iron horses first started crisscrossing the country in the 1800s, the time it took folks to reach the West dropped from months to a matter of days. Why, steam power not only fueled the trains, but the dreams of a whole new generation as they settled this great frontier. Say, have you ever wondered what it would be like to visit the cartoon town where Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy live? Well, in just a few moments you can find out for yourself, because our next stop is Toontown Depot, official train station for Mickey's Toontown. This is also the nearest stop to Fantasyland, where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated characters and stories. If you'll be leaving us here, please wait until the train comes to a full stop. Remember your personal belongings, then step carefully from the train. Y'all have fun and say hi to Mickey for me. For those of you continuing on with us, we'll be resuming our trip in just a moment. This is Toontown Depot,